Car Doctor of Washington, Iowa. No matter who Frankensteined it, they can fix and clean and customize it. Griner Auto Body of Washington, Iowa, using state-of-the-art techniques and decades of experience to get your car back on the road after an accident. Wayland State Bank, over 90 years of being community-minded, just like you, located in Wayland, Winfield, and Mount Pleasant. McDonald Boneyard in Kyoto for all of your automotive and farm machinery recycling needs. Hinshaw Trailer Sales in Richland, Iowa. They fix what they sell and don't in their full-time repair shop. Girling Repair in Winfield, Iowa. If your mower is dead, call Fred, your Husqvarna and Aaron's dealer. B&B Propane and the family of jet stops in Burlington, Salem Stub, New London, West Point, Denmark, Houghton, Bonaparte, Milton, Fairfield, and Birmingham present Southeast Iowa today. I'm John Bain, author of Christie's Journey, The Beat Goes On, and your host. Today, I take you to Kalona, Iowa, and we visit the ribbon cutting of the new Wahl Museum at the Kalona Historical Village.
Now that I got this figured out, we can proceed. Good afternoon and welcome. This is absolutely amazing, way beyond our expectations. You can't know how much the committee appreciates your attendance. I am Claudia Bishop, and I have the honor of serving as one of your hostesses for this afternoon. We're going to start our program with opening remarks by Board President Martha Ann Crawford, followed by Ryan Slaubaut, who is the City Administrator for Kalona, and then Mark Robe, our Mayor of Kalona, will have the honor of cutting the ribbon. A few things that I want to go over, I call them my housekeeping rules. The first thing is bathrooms. All of us over 60 have to know where the bathrooms are at. There is one inside the museum. There's 2 additional men's and women's bathrooms over in the visitor center. It is open, and you are welcome to go over there anytime if you'd like to look around, or if you get too warm and you want to sit in the air conditioning, you're welcome to do that. Refreshments are going to be over here at the table, and we'll start setting those up after everyone goes inside. So when you have your tour or you want to come out and get something to eat and drink, please feel free, sit wherever you like, go back in if you want to. We hope you go in several times because it is going to be so mind-boggling that you're not going to catch it all in one trip. I can guarantee it. I'm still learning where stuff is at in there. There's a couple things. There is a temporary donor board that is right inside this door. If you are a donor and if you want a name change or if you want something added, if you let me know, I'll make a note of it so we can get that taken care of when we get our permanent board up. There's also a guest book that we've set up. When you come out the door, if you want to stop and sign that or any time, we would appreciate it. We'd love to have everybody's name down. Now I will turn the program over to our speakers. Martha Ann?
Good afternoon, everybody. How many of you gave up your Sunday nap to be here? Yeah, I thought so. I did too, but the day's not over yet. Well, I have the pleasure, I have the pleasure of thanking a lot of people who made this possible. First of all, how many of you knew Glenn Wahl? See, we have him to thank, don't we? Because on January the 26th, 1970, the board minutes, and as president I know how important board minutes are, Glenn Wahl offered his 3 lots as a gift to the Historical Society and asked that one building be known as the Wahl Museum. You would have never dreamed this, and you won't believe it when you see it either. So first of all, the Streetscape Committee. If you are in a place where you can stand, please do. And Jim's hiding back there. Jim, come on up here. It was their dream. Museum, focusing on the mission of preserving and sharing the history of the Kalona area. An extensive plan was created. I'm married to an urban planner. He couldn't have come up with this. He's home taking a nap, by the way. Years of research, planning, and gathering of information from families and community members were part of the project. There are 6 interconnected exhibits: the Native American and First Pioneer communities, the history of the railroad. Remember Kalona the Bull? Right, Mary? Kalona High School, changes in transportation and communication, and the history of the business community from 1880 to the 1940s. And also we have the civic organizations shown in there. But it wouldn't have happened without the Miller Builders. Terry, who'd you bring with you? Y'all stand up. Here. Is Gary here?
Gary couldn't make it.
Well, without him, you wouldn't be able to see it because he hung the lights. Recycled materials from the torn down building were sent to Haiti and to Habitat. Construction of each exhibit in the newly built museum was carefully created. The problem solving and care that the Miller Group did is just amazing. And how many nights were you home late for supper because you were working here? Quite a few, I expect. And I live in a house that John Miller built, so I've always appreciated your work. But what makes it beautiful is the work that Edwards did. And who's here from Edwards? Stand up, please. To their website promotion, which says, when it comes to museum exhibits extraordinary, that's what we do. And you will see it to believe it. Our relentless drive to make awesome visitor experiences is second to none. In Edwards Creative, we pride ourselves on establishing a solid relationship with you that's founded on communication. And Jan, how many nights did you fall asleep thinking of what you were going to say to them the next day? So, thank you. And who else is here from the board of directors? I see Colette and Helen. Would y'all stand or wave? And Jerry's in the back. We have really enjoyed watching this project unfold, and we've worked hard at figuring out how to get it paid for. So your help is still needed for that. But also, our last group of people are individuals who have donated money to this project. So if you want to stand, fine, and if not, just wave your hand. Everybody in the crowd who's made a donation to this project. Thank you very much. You will find that your money was well spent. Now, Ryan.
Thank you, Mark Ann. So, a little bit of housekeeping on their end. I have more full disclosure. So, last night the mayor had a car show, a car tour through town. We had the do's and the don'ts down at the park, and Ethan and I, my youngest, helped park cars. And I had a gentleman and his wife come by me on the way back and said, "Hey, what's going on at the village with the tent? Is there a church revival?" And I said, "No, they're having a celebration tomorrow, ribbon cutting for the Streetscape Museum." And they go, "Well, that makes sense because I heard you were speaking." And I didn't know how to take it, but it's probably best. So if you're here for the revival, you can get up and leave now because we're not going down that path. So typically when I do these, and I've had the pleasure of doing a few, I kind of write some notes. I'll write 5 or 6 things on a notepad, and I'll kind of wing it. And I got into this one, and I couldn't wing it. I couldn't write down just 5 or 6 things and hope that I hit all of those marks, because you're going to go in a little bit, and you're going to see detail that is like nothing you've seen for a museum of this size and scope and quality. So I put some notes down. I have 5 pages. It isn't going to take me very long to get through them, but you're going to have to listen to me. So Janelle told me it can't be more than about 15, 20 minutes, and I said, I think 5 to 10. So you're going to have to bear with me for 5 or 10 minutes. So first off, thank you to the Kalona Historical Village for allowing me the privilege to be here today. I truly do appreciate it. I'm grateful for the opportunity to be part of this remarkable event here today, and can't wait for you all to see the fruits of the generosity, of your generosity, as we are not far off from Mayor Robe cutting the ribbon. The journey to establish the Streetscape exhibit in the Wahl Museum has been a labor of love, fueled by passion and dedication of countless individuals. Individuals who hold memories of Kalona close to their hearts and share in the common goal of preserving and showcasing our rich heritage for generations to come. The Streetscape exhibit, which you're about to explore, stands as a tribute to the pioneers who built this town from the ground up, the generations who worked tirelessly to carve out a business to benefit the community and support their families. Along with the visionaries who shaped our community into what it is today, as you step inside the Wahl Museum today, you'll be stepping back in a time to retrace our ancestors' steps, understand their struggles and triumphs, and cherish their legacy they have left behind, and in some cases still endure today. So when Claudia asked me to speak today, I usually ask, well, what do you hope to get out of it? And she said, maybe talk about economic development, tourism, community impact. Those are all wonderful things, but as you 100+ people sit here today, there's a reason you're here. You get that already. You get that thousands of yearly visitors come through these doors and to this 5-acre property and explore the traditions and heritage that we have. You understand that the village houses a world-class quilt museum. You understand that they host numerous annual community events. I don't need to explain that. You understand that they collaborate with public and private schools for educational programming, and that's only going to ramp up more as you see what's inside. You understand that they collaborate with other nonprofits and service clubs for the betterment of Kalona. They easily are our largest driver of tourism, along with the Chamber, who brings in guests from all over the United States and throughout the world on a yearly basis. An ever-evolving museum looking to meet the needs of today's tourists. It's really, really hard to be a museum right now. To try to be relevant, to try to keep up, to try to keep pace with technology and some of those things that make it difficult. And a lot of museums have failed lately. This is a testament to the group and should really be applauded in the sense that they took a current working museum, dismantled it, and improved it. It's unbelievable. And what you're going to see is unbelievable. And lastly, one of our biggest things that we lean on our village for, they are our most consistent and biggest champions for Kalona as a whole. They're out there, along with our chamber, on the forefront of championing for Kalona, bringing people to Kalona to help support our businesses in our community. So, thank you. These are all things I could chat at length about. But I want to talk about something exciting, and I want to talk about history. So, with that being said, I want to talk about 3 things here this afternoon briefly. How did we get here today? And you might say, well, I got an invitation. Janet, Martha Ann, Claudia put it in the mail, and you get it. Council members got dropped off to them. We're not talking about this. We're talking about how we as a community, how an organization got here today to what this is. We are also going to talk about, and you guys are going to chuckle at this a little bit, the great movie fight of 1923 and collaboration. We're going to talk about those 2 things just briefly. I'm going to start with collaboration. And I'm going to oversimplify this, so those true historians out there, please give me a little bit of latitude on this one. But for the purposes of today, I think I can help serve my point and get you in to see the Streetscape exhibit much faster if I kind of don't get into the history part of it. But we're going to talk about the Mennonite Historical Society, Mr. Glenn Wall, which was brought up earlier, and the Alpha Club, and their collaborative efforts to get us here today. These groups came together in 1969 with some common goals of expansion and preservation. and made the effort to collaborate into what is now the Kalona Historical Village. And to my left and the west over there, you're going to see the Mennonite Museum. The major driver in 1969 for the village was the relocation and restoration of the original depot building that was instrumental in the city of Kalona's early growth as a settlement. The price. Everything comes with a price. Price for the depot at the time, $50. If you want the land, $5.50. So this morning as I was going into the office, because I'm a last minute person, so I was putting this on paper. $50 in 1969 is $415.68. The centerpiece of the museum at that time was the depot. It's a bargain. It's a bargain at that time. So they got it moved, the village started, and it is what it is today. But to lead that charge on relocating Mr. Wall's 3 parcels, which we sit on here today through his generous donation, it took a group of 22 women as members of the Alpha Club to help make that happen. Through planning, fundraising, relocation, and constructions. All things that group that did this project went through as well. New hurdles, different hurdles. We've got Edwards here today. Back in '69, they probably didn't have the technology to do what they did today. You're going to see. But they were able to get it done. So those hurdles are different, but they're still hurdles. The vision that it took by all 3 parties, and surely others, to relocate and save the depot was monumental. And because of those collaborative efforts, we are here today to help expand on the foundation they started back in '69. The Great Movie Fight in 1923. Now, I took some liberties with this one because I just want to use the title more than I do anything. So, but there is some relevance to it. So, 100 years ago, the city of Kalona had a referendum put to them by Mayor Ben Boone to determine if they wanted movies shown on Sundays. This is big stuff back in '23. It resulted in the movies being able to be shown from 7 p.m. to 10:30 p.m. with an annual charge for those entities playing the movies of $5 annually. So there was a cost to it. So right now, you're probably asking yourself a couple of questions. Ryan, how do you know so much about this? Well, that's a good question. It's because I went through the museum yesterday when Jerry Beeler was finishing up putting chairs out, and I came when he was done with the last one, so I had some extra time, so I went in the museum to see if they needed anything, and I saw this. So the second thing is, how does it all tie together? What's your point? Well, it's also a good question. So Mayor Boone was elected mayor in 1907 and was also the town magistrate and law enforcement officer, which I don't know if you want those titles marked. And the mayor during the Great Movie Fight of 1923. So that's kind of how it ties into that part. But Ben Boone was raised in Kalona, where he lived for 80 years. And during his childhood, his family established an early hotel and dry goods store, while the original depot, just to my left here, was being constructed. So they were one of the earlier families in town to be able to kind of be that seed that started this. Mayor Boone was also instrumental in the early business growth in Kalona, helping establish our first city hall, jail, and fire station, which were all still structures in downtown Kalona on B Avenue, albeit they don't have public purpose anymore. As a career, Mayor Boone worked as the manager of the Kalona Cooperative Switchboard Company for more than 40 years, bringing the latest technology at the time to Kalona. Those decisions and collaborative efforts by both large and small along the way by business owners, community members, schools, service groups, and elected officials like Mayor Boone have culminated in where we are today. Thus, how we got here today is a group of 100 plus that are about to see a wonderful facility. So I'm going to end it. That's page 4, so I got one left. None of this village, Wahl Museum, depot, and specifically today the Streetscape exhibit would have been possible without the support and generosity of our community, and specifically those here in attendance today, through generous donation, grants, sweat equity, volunteerism. All of those things came in to make this great, and thank you all for your piece in that puzzle. To the volunteers who work tirelessly to collect, curate, and construct this magnificent space, we owe an immense debt of gratitude. To the donors who generously contributed to our cause, your belief in this project has made it a reality today. As we get to the point where Mayor Mark Robe opens the doors to the Wahl Museum Streetscape exhibit, let's not just celebrate the bricks and mortar, but the spirit and unity and pride that binds us together as a community. So, in closing, as you get home and reflect on the day, I think it's safe to say that Mayor Boone, Mr. Wall, and the 22 women of the Alpha Club, along with countless others before us, would say, job well done. Keep up the good work. So with that, tonight, give yourself a well-deserved pat on the back before you go to bed. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, everyone, for your nice words. We're going to finish up. I have just a few more comments to make, and then we'll have Mayor Robe cut the ribbon. And when he's done, I will ask him to go with me, and we will lead you, like sheep, into the museum. And we'll go in the other door, because that is the wow factor. And you'll see that when you walk in that door. Sorry, my phone's acting up now. That's bad. There's a couple things I want to do. First of all, I want to acknowledge the family of E.J. Hesselworth. They have traveled from Texas, Missouri, Oregon, and Wisconsin to be here today. I would like those family members to please stand if you can. When you begin your stroll through the early days of Kalona, you will notice 4 original street signs with the names Samuel Manette, John Myers, Moses P. Miller, and Captain Philip E. Shaver, who is my great-great-grandfather. These 4 men were farmers, all 4, and they donated land so that the town of Kalona could be formed. This is where our beginning started. The Streetscape project highlights 5 families who settled here at about the same time as pioneers and established businesses that would become multi-generational. I would like members of each of these families, if you can, to please stand. Grady, Petersheim, Reif, Scola, and Mellinger. Of these 5 families, Petersheim is the only one that is still in business. And that's probably because we all know what they do there. Never ending, never ends. So this is an example, these 5 families and this creation and what they did, this is what makes this museum, makes the Wahl Museum so unique, are the family ties that still exist to this day. That is what makes this so special. We hope you enjoy what you're about to see as much as we enjoyed creating it for you. Mayor Robe, please.
You know, this is everybody's nightmare. The scissors won't work. Just like that. I took a sneak peek. This is friggin' amazing. From last year to what it is right now, amazing. So please enjoy.
Okay, so if everyone wants to start traveling with me down the sidewalk.
Everybody does. Could you wear a bathrobe to work? I do have
Yeah, go on in.
Oh, it smells new.
No, just like a bathrobe.
Great job.
That's what I tell people.
And we can take pictures?
Sure.
Yes, of course.
Oh, gorgeous. Smells good too.
That's probably a can of that.
Bottle it up.
Sure.
I'm serious. From last year's class. Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Did I hear right? Are you guys the contractors?
Yeah. Build out that structure.
I know, exactly.
Very good job. Amazing.
And normally I'm like,
Windows up there. Amazing.
And it's just, it's, as I said, the detail.
Yeah.
My favorite is the cement around Bain.
Oh yes. Yep. Yep.
Just wow, ladies and gentlemen. You need to come to Kalona and see this in person. Any Lily Tomlin fans remember One Ringy Dingy?
so many banks that paid 100% of their fees.
If you saw our episode on the theater museums, you know what this is for. Always thank our sponsors.
It is amazing. It's
Janet, it's been quite a day here at the Wahl Museum with the ribbon cutting. Tell us what you think about today, the experience so far, and if you can share with us what's gotten us to this point today.
Okay. Yes, this is ribbon cutting for the Wahl Museum, which includes several different exhibits. And it's just been more than what we could anticipate, and the number of families that have come to see their stories and the stories of Kalona. And what got us here in 2016, we had to tear down the existing Wahl Museum because of mold and mildew.
Wow.
And we had been working with artifacts and stories and research and about the history of Kalona, and realized that we weren't telling our Native American history, we weren't telling our pioneer history, we weren't telling our railroad history, or the business of Kalona. So in this museum, it includes all of those things. And one of the things that really hit me is that in the pioneer exhibit was the first generation of people, settlers. The businesses are really the second generation.
Interesting.
So, you know, we see a particular family story throughout.
And what's really nice about the town of Kalona, the city of Kalona, it has that rich and interesting history, but it's present and it's future. It's very bright.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. So, and just the turnout today has been wonderful.
It's spectacular. I describe it. Yeah. Well, what is your favorite part?
I think my favorite part is the attention to detail that the company that we had hired. We gave them pictures of the inside of businesses. We gave them pictures of the outside, and the way that they were able to fabricate things and bring it together to look just like those pictures.
Well, what some of our viewers have seen already in this episode today is I've shown video of those pictures, and those pictures are humanized again.
Yes, that's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
You're right, exactly right.
I mean, they're from the past, but they're here now, and it's not just a flat image on a little, 3x5 piece of paper. They're life-size practically, and like I said, humanized. It's really wonderful.
And when we started, we had a lot of artifacts here, and we had a lot of collections, and our vision was to put those artifacts within the context of where they were sold or where they were used. So then you give that meaning to the items that you have.
Well, I think your vision is well in sight and well focused.
Thank
It
you.
really has happened.
Yeah, thank
It
you
has
very
really
much.
happened. Well, thank you for your time today. Thank you for your caring and helping be a part of this. And you're going to be sharing this with the world.
Oh, wow. So, hope they'll come and see it.
I hope so too. Thanks, Janet.
Thank you.
As you can see, it's a really neat place up there in Kalona at the Kalona Historical Village and the Wahl Museum, and I encourage you to get there soon. Thanks to our sponsors for sponsoring this episode: Car Doctor, Griner Auto Body, Wayland State Bank, McDonald Boneyard, Hinshaw Trailer Sales, Girling Repair, B&B Propane, and the family of Jet Stops. I'm your host, John Bain. Stay friendly, Southeast Iowa.